What is up, my beautiful people? This is just a quick note to let you guys know that I will be in Annapolis, Maryland at the boat show the 14th through the 17th of October. That is next week. I hope to see some of you there, buy you a beer. If you are going, you can use discount code SAILZINGARO22. That's SAILZINGARO 22. You will get a discount and I will get like $2. So basically you're buying yourself a beer. Yeah, hope to see you there. Enjoy this video. It's a freaking cool one. This is a pirate ship, man. Yeah. This is Bermuda, everybody, and this is the Spirit of Bermuda, and we are going to go take a tour of it. I will tell you all about it in just a minute. Stay tuned. We are just finishing the first leg of our Atlantic crossing. We sailed this beautiful Bavaria C-57 from Annapolis to Bermuda and got to spend a few days exploring the island. Lucky for us, we got in contact with a special organization that has the only Bermuda sloop left in the world. Stay tuned for some really cool info. I got something really special for you guys today. If you have ever sailed a day in your life, you have heard of the term Bermuda Rig. Bermuda Rig came about in Bermuda because where the fishing grounds were here and how the island is shaped, all of the islanders needed a fast way to get both downwind and then back upwind. So not only did they coin the term Bermuda Rig, but they invented the macaroni sloop. And behind me is the last ship of its kind. It's a modern day Bermuda sloop. So this ship is called the Spirit of Bermuda. It was built in 2006. It is a replica of a Navy sloop of war, which just sounds super cool. And basically what you're looking at is a modern day representation of an 18th century warship and pirate ship. And this is the ship that all of the pirates wanted because it was so fast and nimble. It could get in and get out. And if you're being chased by a big frigate or bark, you would just kill them, you'd smoke them, and you'd get away. And this ship has so much history, and no one even knows about this rig. It looks really strange, right? I mean, it's got 3 masts. It's a schooner rig with another mizzen mast that's shorter, but it's still considered a schooner rig. This one has 1-inch carbon masts. It's kind of a mix between old and new, so you've got Dyneema rigging with the old hemp 3-strand style, just for the look. Apparently the masts are so strong they can handle all of the loads from the sails without any stays, but they put the stays on there both for safety and for the look, because this is the way that they wanted to have it set up exactly like it would have been in the 18th century. So she's one of the coolest boats that I've ever seen. And the most important and most special thing about the Spirit of Bermuda is the whole foundation is set up to take children from 14 to 18 sailing and give them that sense of accomplishment and introduce them to working as a team and how to sail and how to harness the wind. It's just an amazing organization. Let's go meet the CEO and the captain of the Spirit of Bermuda.
Very nice to meet you, James.
Very nice to meet you, too.
Zach, I'm Robin.
Pleasure, Robin. So what do you do for the foundation?
So I'm the CEO.
A CEO, all right.
So I run it and I raise money.
Awesome.
It's hard to raise money in this environment, though.
Yeah, I bet. Right now, especially. But you know what? What you guys are doing, it's just so neat.
Have you been to the website yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've read all about it. It's very cool. Oh, this is a beautiful boat. Man, thank you guys so much for giving me some time from your day. I know you guys are getting ready to take the boat on you're doing the Newport to Bermuda race.
Correct.
Via?
So we're going to New York City prior, and then the 13th we'll move from New York to Newport in preparation for the start of the race on the 17th.
And are you guys going to sail through the Statue of Liberty, the channel there?
Yeah, we'll come right in through the main channel in the New York Harbor, and we'll pass right by Statue of Liberty, go up the Hudson, and be at Liberty Marina right there.
Oh man, that sounds awesome.
So the Ambrose Channel on it.
Are you taking kids on that trip?
Not on this one. This is going to be adult trainees.
Okay.
Which is kind of, we do that with some legs, and some legs is just all students. And when we go down to Grand Turk, the end of June, we'll have all Duke of Edinburgh students on board.
Yes, we get back from Newport, and about a week and a half later, we turn around and go to Grand Turk.
Awesome.
18 Duke of Edinburgh candidates. So we've got this resource that's coming on board too, who's a historian on the slave trade and understands the story of Mary Prince and really is an expert at that. And so he's going to teach that history to the kids while they're on the ship.
How do I get on that trip? That sounds awesome.
Go back in time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that sounds neat. So how long have you guys been a part of this adventure?
I've been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO and joined in February of 2020, right as COVID hit.
Oh man.
Yeah, so timing's good. Alex?
So you ran this thing into the ground.
Yeah, I totally did.
But like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
Alex has been, how long have you been?
Yeah, October 2018, so I'm going on 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how does she sail? Let's talk boating a little bit.
Yeah, well, there's not many heavy displacement traditional ships that sail quite like Spirit. I mean, she's quite fast, she's quite maneuverable, agile, she's very stiff, you know, she goes right through it. It's a very wet boat, but we have a lot of fun, you know, and it's great to get, you know, that sporty side of sailing and introduce that to the students right off the bat, because they think, you know, it's going to be this kind of boring, slow bus around, and you know, once the sails are up and she's going, she charges.
She rips, right?
Take much, yeah. 50 knots of wind is obviously perfect for us, but she'll be, you know, 9.5, pushing 10 knots, up around 15 to 18 knots. But she can take a lot. You know, we can stand full sail plan about 25 knots, and then we start reefing after that.
Wow.
Obviously, sea state is a big variable there, but she stands up to quite a bit.
What is the rig called?
So she is technically a schooner rig. What throws people off is the mizzen mast, which is the one all the way aft. It is shorter, but she still falls into that schooner class because the main and then the fore get shorter. This is kind of like the pinnacle of the Bermuda sloop design. So in 1830s, this was kind of like the end of the evolution of them. And they call it the Shamrock class. So they were a non-rate ship in the British Navy, so these were doing like mail packet service, chasing slavers, chasing opium trade, privateering, anything that needed fast and agile boats for. But they were usually privately owned and sailed and built by local Bermudians. She is you know, quite a good example, especially in 1830s, of, you know, you get into the Marconi rigged mains, the triangular sails, and because that was the thing, they had to beat down to Grand Turk for the salt trade and the fishing grounds, so they really had to figure out a way to go to windward. And that started out just from how do you get to St. George's and back, see your buddies. And
exactly, right?
Yeah.
What's the fastest way to go drink some beer with your friends?
Exactly, yeah. Go get some rum, and so that's really where the demand for the development in that, you know, triangular sail. So there are overlapping sails, and yeah, she can be a little violent coming through stays, tacking, but you know, we got all the students coordinated and they're on the sheets, and yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't see enough of the pictures to know, but do you guys have any kind of kite for this boat? Do you run a spinnaker at all?
Yeah, actually we were out, did a couple spinnaker sets yesterday just to get the crew all geared up for that. So we have a big ASM with a Gosling's seal on it.
That's awesome, man. I bet that's pretty.
Yeah, so that's all in preparation for the race.
Cool.
It's a socked spinnaker. And
that's the way to go.
yeah.
So what is crew on this big girl?
Yeah, so when we're doing our local education voyages, we have about 6, but when we go overseas, we have 8 to 9, including cook.
Okay.
And then obviously all the trainees and students that come aboard, they're all divvied up into the 3-watch system, so 4 on, 8 off. Everybody does a watch and has a duty on board. Yeah.
And how long are the trips that you usually take with
on average 4 days. You know, that's usually what it takes us to get, you know, say from here to New York, call it 4 days. We could do it 3.5. That'd be a nice, you know, consistent southwesterly. 15 knots would give us that. But sometimes things slow down in the Gulf Stream, especially when, you know, you got a cold front passing and things like that. But yeah, on average, Grand Turk will be about 5 days. Yeah.
Can anybody come? Are there some kind of qualifications that you need?
Well, the main qualification is that you're what we call an M3 student. So you're between 12 and 14 years old, so average 13-year-old. And every student in Bermuda of that age gets to come on the ship for a week. both the public schools and the private schools, and so we raise money to support that programming.
And you guys take care of the donations to support giving away those seats on your boat?
That's right.
Oh, that's so awesome. Nice job, man. You guys do a great thing. That's so amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. What about other kids? Like, say, my brother's kids, could they come on the boat when they turn that age?
We don't have that programming quite yet because of COVID. We've really locked down what we're doing. For instance, we usually have the kids on the ship for a week overnight, and because of COVID, we've had to limit the opportunities to just during the daytime.
Yeah.
And in at night. So that should open up in the fall. We should be back to full residential. And then, you know, depending on how busy the boat is, then we could think about taking other kids on the ship.
Okay.
But
So
opportunities like the Canadian Maritime trip, you know, if there's an 18-year-old person out there that wants to do a really cool trip, they should definitely go to bermudasloop.org and find out about the trip and contact us.
bermudasloop.org. Okay, cool. That sounds neat. Will you guys do me a huge favor and show me a little bit of this beautiful ship? I mean, it looks amazing. I see that you've got a little bit of the old mixed with the new. I saw some Dyneema rigging and some, it looks like Coligo parts, and it looks like you've done like a traditional look, but with the newer stuff that'll last longer.
It's
Yeah,
a modern and traditional blend.
Neat.
So from like 200 feet away, she looks.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I had a schooner.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just, you know, because we are carrying students, and you know, we adhere to a lot of regulation and SOL lists, so we can carry students and passengers overseas. So there's a lot of licensing and regulations we have to meet. So having, say, carbon fiber mast takes a little pressure off, you know, maintaining a wooden spar and keeping that integrity.
Are these carbon?
Yep. So the rig's actually designed to be freestanding. However, you know, we keep the shrouds to keep the mast from buggy whipping too much or sagging too far to leeward. But yeah, they're 1-inch carbon fiber.
1 inch?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The hull itself, she is wooden, but she's composite built. So she's 5 layers of Douglas fir with a 4 layers Douglas fir with a 5th layer of mahogany. So it's all you know, built upside down and all just strip planked, going, you know, posing, and glue in between. And then over that they have a big Kevlar mat just to keep, you know,
just in case you hit
smooth it
something.
out and give it that added protection. So she's, like I said, she's stiff, and you don't have to worry about springing a plank or you know, make too much water like a traditional plank on frame vessel.
But like wooden instruments, a wooden boat is you know, a lot of people say it's got its own soul, and that doesn't happen with a plastic boat and doesn't happen with a metal boat. And there's just something special about a wood boat, right?
And they all have that unique smell.
Yeah.
It's not all black and gray water either, but like, you know, I'll go back to a boat I first started on, you know, 12, 13 years ago and be like, yeah, it still smells the same. Despite,
that's what gets in here, huh?
Yeah, and the sounds, you know, of a wooden vessel can creep people out at first, but once they settle into it's all normal. But yeah, they do have a spirit.
And you've got quite a few miles on this one, right?
Yeah, this will be, you know, going on 7-8. This will be the 7th passage to the States.
Cool.
On Spirit, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you want to do a little walkthrough?
Yeah, I would love to get just a little tour.
So, you know, aramid fiber shrouds with Dyneema sheathing on those.
Beautiful.
So very little stretch, but you know, you have the traditional 3-strand polyester lanyards. Well, they would have been hemp, but
yeah. Or manila, depending on where you're at.
Yeah. Teak deck, which, you know, would have been probably a pine deck then, but with the teak you just get that extra wear and tear.
Yeah, it's a very oily wood, so it handles the sun and the salt water very, very well. That's why it's used for the exterior of boats.
If we had a pine deck, we probably would have been replacing it by now. And that you gotta, you know, keep salt water on it constantly, just to keep the rot down. But so the cockpit, you can see it's a nice, it's like a big tub, so we can actually get all the students in here if things are rough or we need to muster them all, meaning have our meetings. We get everybody in here and can address the students. The students are always at the wheel, and the students are always at the winches with the guidance of the watch leaders, which are the deckhands on board. I give commands to the engineer who's on controls and the helmsman, who's usually a student. And we actually have a variable pitch propeller, so it's another cool thing. So
Beautiful.
you can set the RPM so the prop is spinning, but then we just control the pitch. So it's instant reverse, forward, just dead slow, slow, half ahead, or same in reverse. So it's pretty cool. And it kind of gives it that ship effect, you know, with the command structure and the propulsion unit. So yeah, a lot of this is again, teak. We'll get below, you'll start seeing some actual Bermudian cedar that was donated to the ship. There was like I think it was a 50-yard container that was all donated windfalls and cedar from people's property here in Bermuda that was sent to Rockport Marine, where the vessel was built by Rockport Marine. Opened the doors and, you know, basically said, what do you want us to do with this?
The smell of cedar.
Yeah, but they had to mill it all.
Oh, man.
They thought they were going to get some nice, you know, already milled stuff, but they made it happen, and we'll check that out.
Can I see what you're hiding under here? What kind of winches do you have?
Harkin bronze winches.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful, brother. Yeah, and they're so smooth too. You must have the kids do this every time you take it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Part of the chores is polishing all the brass. And
I like that. That's a beautiful winch.
yeah, 'cause, you know, on the last day we sail in and all the parents are on the dock and we shoot the cannon off. We have a little signal gun, and
Cool.
they'll have the ship all looking presentable and spiffy, and that's when they realize, like, oh, we've accomplished something. That's when it sets in, you know, when it's the last day. But they're quite proud when their parents come.
Yeah, what a sense of accomplishment for the kids.
All right, you ready to go below?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so obviously we got nav instruments, chart plotter there.
Before
wind.
before we go below, I'm going to put this on you because you're kind of leading the tour. So then now I can just stay back.
Ready?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and follow me. Look at this.
Do you want to hit that switch right there? Yeah, it's a little more light. So again, being a sail training ship for youth, everything was kind of built to say, for example, can we get all the students in here to look at the charts and the plan for the day? You know, you look at most other boats and the skipper's chart table is just a little nook, but here we can get everybody in here and go over the plan.
Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great for training. Was that a forethought? I bet it was.
Yeah, yeah. They in these buildings over here, they actually did with cardboard. They did an actual to scale mock-up, and they invited a lot of people in the community to just say, you know, change this or just give their thoughts and opinions. Cool. And so they did a lot of, you know, the idea started in '95, and so they had a lot of time to really plan it out. What a beautiful. You know, and being kind of the first sail training ship of its kind with, you know, 100+ year gap between the age of sail, you know, I think they did a pretty good job doing it. You can see some of the Bermudian cedar I was talking about here, the bookends and all that paneling is all Bermuda cedar. This is what they had to go off of, you know, because the documentation just wasn't there. So this is in Jamaica. Is it? Got that.
Yeah. That's better.
Yeah.
Neat. That's a picture of the original boat.
Yeah, so this is the John Lynn painting that they went off of, and the unique thing about this is you have two black men in a boat with the turtle, meaning they're fishing. So slavery had been abolished, and that's what this is representing, and that's kind of where it all started.
Beautiful. That's a really nice painting.
So we always tell that story. But of course, all the modern navigation and satellite communication equipment we need, redundancy when it comes to chart plotters and you know, SSB radio, VHF radio, Navtex, digital barometer. Yeah, just about mostly.
That's nice. Do you have a repeater for this in your cabin?
Yeah, you can see right over there. The screen's there. Yeah. Apologize for the mess, but this is what it looks like days before departure.
That's what happens.
You can see here, this is a lot of the original donors to make this all happen.
It's cool that you put this on the mast. Beautiful.
think Michael Douglas is on there somewhere.
Oh, cool, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, going for. Oh, we got to check out the engine room. Can't miss that.
Oh, yeah. Oops, sorry.
Okay. It's our engineer. It's a little loud in here, but 40-gallon-hour desalinator, water maker, sea recovery, 24-kilowatt generator sitting on top of the 6-cylinder 3126 Caterpillar. We repowered 2 years ago, in kind, same block. And then we have air conditioning, you know, all the converters, chargers, everything we need for both our 24 volt bank and our backup bank for the 12-volt navigation equipment. We carry about 900 gallons of diesel fuel in 5 tanks. One of them, the 5th tank's a day tank, so that's what we draw off of. You can see second redundancy controls. If we were to lose the controls on deck, we can actually control the pitch and the propeller from right here, which is actually a new thing with our new control system. It's all electric, so it's taken some getting used to. But yeah, they're very robust, and the technology is quite old. It's been around for a long time. So this is kind of cool. This is various accomplishments over the years, including Newport to Bermuda races on here for winning our class. Tall Ship Festivals, International Tall Ship Festival she's taken part in. She's been all the way to Spain and Portugal. And yeah, so some of our accomplishments there. Safety plan here. Then we're going to enter into the galley.
What kind of wood is this?
Here, on the floor or on the sole. This is, I think, Ipe.
Oh, okay.
And then mahogany. I think there's the cedar. That's cedar, yeah. Yeah, there's mahogany, cedar, teak. It's all kind of scattered throughout.
You guys keep the plastic on all the time?
That's a new thing with COVID. Yeah, the health department wanted us to wrap it, so we're just kind of sticking with it for now. We've got a lot of people coming through the ship, so it just gives an added layer. That's the cook trying to hide. She's from Booth Bay, Maine. Just got here yesterday. That's Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. James. It's
where my grandma's from.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just there last year.
Galley worked with her last summer. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Look at this galley. Oh, they really did a number on this one, huh? It's perfect. And then you have to feed how many people at a time?
17.
That number's going up.
You haven't told me yet?
I'm gonna wait till we're at sea.
Yeah, I can go.
I said provision for 8 days, but I'm gonna tell her for how many at sea.
Yeah.
But no, this area is really cool because yeah, it is our galley. It's where we try to eat at least dinner as a family meal with all the students, all the crew in here. But it's also our classroom if we got to do any lessons, which we do throughout the week underway. We can put projection up here. We can display the chart from the aft cabin here, and we'll do any movies or lessons we need to do. Oh, this is Patrick, our first mate.
Hi, Patrick. Nice to meet you, brother.
Been
I'm
with
James. Sorry to be in your way, man. I know you guys are getting ready to go.
So freezer, refrigeration.
Beautiful. And normally you have people sleeping in here too?
Yeah, when we're doing local student trips, we put a mattress right here, all the surfaces, and
wow.
all these on the settees here, these fold up, chain up, and just double the bunk
really
capacity.
Stacking them in.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
They're still trying to figure out how to put more bunks up forward. Go into the forward accommodation.
Look at these cute steps. Masts. That's such a cool sight.
So every student is always in a spin lock harness with a PLB in it as well.
Nice.
For when we go offshore. That's the spinnaker. Just doing a little repair on that. But yeah, this is so this is where they'll be hot bunking. All these bunks will be hot bunked for the Newport race, and some crew up here, but mostly trainees. Anchor lockers are up forward. Collision bulkhead forward of that. Just more storage. 2 heads, 2 bathrooms up here, so there's 3 heads on board. One, the crew head being back by the engine room. Another point of egress here, and yeah.
I got a question, Captain Alex. If I'm sleeping right here, how do you get into this bunk or this bunk?
Oh, you want to make sure you're outboard as much as possible, so you don't get stuck. Yeah, further.
So like under. Okay.
Yeah, with the students, it's always a show. It's always a show.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow, you can sleep what? 12 in here? Is that right?
12 up here.
That right? Mm-hmm. Cool.
And this is your storage.
That's all you get?
Yeah. Well, it's more underneath.
I was on a submarine.
Okay.
And we didn't even have that. We had a little tray here that was like about a cigarette carton tall, and that was our storage for everything we had.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. We made it work.
Yeah.
You put things under your mattress, flat, but yeah,
wow.
Pretty neat.
I don't think I could go underwater.
Yeah, there's no windows. You don't even know.
You don't know. Yeah. It's like when I tell the crew going aloft at night. It's like you can't see. You don't know how high up you are. You're good.
Oh, you guys go aloft?
Not so much on this boat. I mean, we have to for maintenance and things like that. But other traditional boats like this, you got to go aloft to set sail and unfurl the sails and things like that. But yeah, crews still have to go up from time to time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you guys got your sails from Doyle, is that right?
Yeah, Doyle, Robbie Doyle.
And this is 1.5 ounces?
That.
Or maybe
no, that's actually 10 ounces.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I can't. I want to see it. I gotta find a picture of that.
We're talking about going heavier and flatter because, like I said, the boat just doesn't give in any kind of surge or gust. So the spinnaker takes it all.
Wow.
So we want to maybe go a little flatter and a little heavier, but yeah, we had it up yesterday and it was flying in 5.5 knots of breeze.
How many people does it take to pull that sock down?
1.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2. I mean, a little bit of 10 knots plus, probably 2 people, but it's easy. As long as you have somebody who knows what they're doing on the sheet, it comes in quite easily. That locker is we have rain gear for all the students, so there's no excuse when it's raining. They're up on deck sailing the boat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. He's a slave driving captain.
No. Believe me, they run the ship.
Yeah?
I'm just there to keep them safe.
Yeah, so talk to me. Let's go upstairs and then get out in the sun a little bit.
But you can go up this way if you don't mind stepping over.
Not at all. So what's it like for a student that comes aboard that doesn't really know, never been sailing before? I mean, what's a normal day like for them?
Well, at first, before they even step aboard, we all go out into the field there. We get in a big circle and we introduce ourselves and, talk about what we're looking forward to, goals for the week. I kind of set the expectations and what the purpose is. Then we get them aboard. They stow their gear. They get a safety talk and we leave. So, it can be quite overwhelming for some of them. Some of them it's very overwhelming, but, you tell them it's like you've done the hardest part, you showed up. Now it's just getting aboard and going through the motions. And, by day 2, they're pretty settled in. Overnight's pretty different from the day programs. The day programs, they know they're going home every night, so we don't deal with a lot of, discipline type issues, but overnight, they're rowdy at the end of the day. They've just eaten dinner, so it's like trying to get them to bed's the hard part. And
with sugar and electronics.
Yes, there's a lot of detoxing going on.
So no one's allowed phones?
No.
Nicely done.
I think that's probably becoming our biggest purpose these days, is
really?
giving them a break from the phones. But day 3, day 4, they've pretty much settled in and they're starting to see their accomplishment. And if we could do 2 weeks with the same group, I think that would be awesome. But we got to get everybody through it.
Yeah.
The idea is the follow-up. So, the mission statement is changing lives one voyage at a time over time. So they've done the local program, then they can come aboard, and in the summer, if we're not going overseas, we do a skiller voyage, which we turn the ship even more over to the students and we circumnavigate the island overnight. And then they do that, and then they can come overseas with us. So we're continuously doing outreach to just keep them engaged, keep them involved, especially while they're at that malleable state and still they're not chasing girls yet, and we deal with that too, but they're not in college and they're not preoccupied with so much. They're still in that curiosity stage.
perfect stage
Yeah.
to introduce them to this. And
Yeah.
it's such a sense of accomplishment for them after they get back. They probably didn't even realize it until afterwards, and then they're like, wow,
Yeah.
we did it.
Well, that's the
Usually
thing.
The kids that were the most reluctant to get on board on a Monday are the ones that don't want to get off on a Thursday or Friday.
And they're probably the ones that excel the most, too.
Probably.
So what are some of the challenges that you face? Because I imagine you have to have so many different hats. I mean, I'm a captain with these fools, and I got enough stuff to do. But
let them talk to you like that?
A bunch of kids. No, I love these guys. These are my dream crew.
That's awesome.
But that's the only reason I can talk to them like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, you have to be a captain, a navigator, a babysitter, a disciplinarian, a
Headmaster.
teacher,
Dean,
a headmaster.
yeah. It's quite a bit, and that's why it's important that you have quality crew that can back you up and echo your wishes. And you know, the important part is delegating properly and knowing when to make a decision and making a decision. That's always it. But as far as logistics and administratively, it's nonstop.
Yeah,
It's constant. It actually turns into 7 days a week. You know, just staying on top of it all.
And are you, as a captain, are you the type of captain that you want to be hands-off and delegate everything to everyone else and have them learning, or do you like to be on the wheel? Do you like to...
No, hands-off as possible. I mean, I'm very engaged and very interactive with the students, and we'll do some lessons myself, even though we do have an onboard educator. But yeah, we really try to put it in their hands as much as possible. We had a young man, one of a family friend of one of our board members who's on yesterday, and kid had never been on the helm before. We put him on for the docking. You know, we have a crew member there supervising, but he's turning the wheel, you know, so we try to do that as much as possible.
Beautiful.
You know, we'll give a student the responsibility of being the captain, so you know, you'll do a few tacks, for example, and then you'll be like, okay, it's your turn, and you're there to whisper in their ear, but...
Direct them.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you guys face as a group, as the whole group? Is it fundraising? Is it people that maybe retention of crew? Is it what are some of the challenges that you face having a foundation like this? Because this is such a different thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, our annual budget's $1.6 million, and we start the year with zero in the bank, so we got to raise all that money every year.
Wow.
And so thankfully we have many generous donors, both individuals and companies and foundations. They support us, and during COVID it was quite tough because a lot of donors were redirecting their giving to Health and Human Services, which is perfectly understandable, and away from programs like this. But we really talk about the youth development side of what we do here and the resilience building and the character building that we're doing with the kids, and that seems to resonate quite well with our donors. So thankfully we've been okay.
Okay, where do these guys go if they want to donate a little bit of money towards this program?
BermudaSleep.org. There's a donate button right at the very top, red button. Just click that button, it'll take you right to a checkout link.
And that's where they can get more information about the boat and pictures and videos and
Yeah,
stuff?
and Facebook.
And
We're also on
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.
And Instagram. Yep.
Okay.
Spirit of Bermuda.
All right. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful thing you're doing. I really, really appreciate
Yeah,
your time.
absolutely.
It was wonderful
James,
to meet you guys.
really good to meet you.
Yeah.
Good luck with everything and be safe.
Yes, sir. Yeah, maybe I'll cross paths with you
You may
one
well.
of these days.
You know, it's a small world. It'll happen.
It'll happen.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll happen. And I wish you guys the best of luck on your passage to
Thank you.
New York.
Likewise.
I think there's a little bit of a low coming, so you know, be safe, reef down.
Yeah, reef early.
Fair winds, my captain.
You too.
Cool. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
really.
meet you.
Great.
Nice going, guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.